Hello guys, my name is Arash. Welcome to my YouTube channel Data to Deploy. In this video, I want to show you how you can build an interactive dashboard using Plotly in Python and deploy it on PythonAnywhere website so you can share it with your friends. So Plotly is a framework written in Python which you can build data visualization tools and platforms for analysts, engineers, scientists, and coding agents. I put the link in the description here. You can see that you can build any dashboard you want based on your dataset and based on your needs. And today we want to use a football dataset, FIFA World Cup 2026 player performance dataset, and we want to build a dashboard for it, and we can see for example how each player how each player performance or team performance, and we can add anything we want to this dashboard. We can download this dataset by clicking on download and download dataset as zip. I put this link in the description. You can download the dataset, and here you can see, for example, the columns and the rows of this dataset. If you are not familiar with these, I have already made video about this. You can go to my channel, for example, watch this video, Pandas tricks, or also this visualization video which I teach you how you can visualize your dataset with Python, Seaborn, Matplotlib, and Plotly libraries. And you can download this dataset here, and then the main code we want to use it. I write the code, and the code is on my GitHub. I put the link in the description. You can clone this code and run it on your machine and build your dashboard easily. So how you can clone it? Here simply you click on the code, and for example I use SSH method. I copy this and I go to my code editor, and simply I write git clone and paste it. Then here I should enter my SSH password. If you don't know how you can add SSH, I also wrote a blog about it. I put the link in the description. You can go and read it. And after you clone your repository, which here I explain everything, you can go to the directory with cd, and when we write ls, you can see that all the files on the GitHub repository are appear in your directory on your local machine. And next we need to create a virtual environment where when we want to install our dependencies, our libraries, they all install in a separate environment so they won't conflict with other applications on your machine. Simply by writing python 3-m vm and the name of your virtual environment, you can change it to whatever you want. And then with source vm, your virtual environment name, and /bin/activate, you activate your virtual environment. Here at the left side you can see that inside parentheses our environment have been activated. And then simply with running pip install -r requirements.txt, we install the libraries we need. Here for example, if we go to this file, you can see that we need dash, plotly, pandas, numpy, and gunicorn with these specific versions. Now here you can see, for example, right now plotly is downloading, then pandas. And after our dependencies downloaded and installed, we can simply run our application. Now as you can see, everything installed. We can simply copy this and run it here. Before I run it, I can show you that with ls you can see that the football underscore dashboard.py is our main file where all logics written there. Okay, so we call Python to run this file because the logic stays here. Other files, for example, this is our dataset, the FIFA World Cup 2026 player performance, or for example requirements.txt is the what libraries we want to install, or for example docker file is for docker. If you, for example, if you want to host this application with docker or on Hugging Face platform, you need docker file. But all logics stay here, so it's simply running Python and our main file .py and waiting a few seconds. Our application will run, but right now the application is running on a local machine. Okay, if we want to for example host it somewhere so it could be accessible from anywhere, we want to share it with anyone, you need to host it on a platform, and one way is to host it on PythonAnywhere. I will show you in a second. So here, as you can see, our application is running. We can simply copy this link and paste it on our browser, and here, as you can see, our dashboard created and it's showable. We need to wait a little and all dashboard charts will appear clearly. And also we can, for example, improve our dashboard interface. For example, we can change any dashboard we want. Here, as you can see, after waiting a little, nothing appeared, and I just check the logs where we run our main file. Here we can read the error, no module named stats model. Looks like I didn't put this library inside requirements.txt file, so simply we can install it in our virtual machine. I stop the application and run pip install stats models. Now it will install this library, and after that again we run the application. Now here we run the application again and we refresh our dashboard. Again, we can check our logs to see if anything goes wrong. Looks like right now nothing appear in the logs, everything looks okay. And I think now we should see our dashboard. And as you can see that after waiting a little, our dashboard is ready. And I think because the dataset is quite huge, it takes a little time. But if you use, for example, dataset, a smaller dataset, the dashboard appear very fast, but based on the dataset, it may take a few seconds to generate the dashboard. So here, as you can see that, for example, we are using the FIFA World Cup dataset, which we get it from the Kaggle website. And I think this dataset is artificial because as of today, the World Cup is still continue, 2 more games left. So this dataset is not exact dataset from 2026 World Cup, but it's a good practice to learn it after the main original dataset published. You can replace this dataset with that. I will show you in a second. Here, as you can see, for example, out of all the data, you can see that this is our data set which I downloaded. For example, here you can see that the columns and rows. For example, here total goals, here goals, total goals, sum all these values in these columns. If you sum all of these, it will be equal to 3024. Okay, as I said, it's a very large data set with near 50,000, more than 50,000 rows. And for example, unique players, here you can see that the player name and the number of unique players are around 1245. So for example, with this data set, imagine we have 48 teams, as in 2026 World Cup, 48 teams joined the game, and all of them have 1245 number of players. And for example, average rating, here as you can see, the last column, tournament rating, and with average rating we simply sum all this value and cross it by the number of it, and we get 3.63. Here for example, we can choose which countries we want their data to appear on our chart. For example, we can cancel, remove lots of them, or we can add any country we want. Here for example, the stage of tournament, for example, as you can see here, we have final, so this data set is artificial. As of today, 17th of July, the final game still is not happening. So for example, we can choose the which stage in the World Cup tournament we want to use that data, that column feature, because for example here also we can see that the stage, for example tournament stage, group stage, or we can go down, we can see other stages. First is group stage, then it's very long, then for example quarterfinals, round of 16, round of 32, semi-final and third place match. And here for example the player position, for example whether he is defender, forward, goalkeeper, or midfielder, or anything based on the data set. And for example here this is the main goal of this dashboard, which is an interactive dashboard. Here you can see that it's not just simply a plot. Okay, I can tell you, you can understand it better. Previously I wrote an article about data visualization with Python, this one. For example here, as you can see, these charts are static and they are not interactive. Okay, this is just a plot, but here it's interactive. We can learn more about each data set. For example, with this data set which is a scatter plot, comparing total passes with successful passes, you can see that for example here it's for team Austria, the position of the player is midfielder, the total passes is 54, successful passes are 52, so around 99%, 98% of the passes are correct and successful. And the player name is Maximilian Bavoli. Okay, so it's very good. Here you can understand the data better. For example, here we used a box plot and we are comparing team and their goals. For example, with this data set, Cameroon team scores 88 goals, the number one. After that it's Saudi Arabia. After that Jamaica with 79 goals. Here, as you can see that this data set is artificial, so it's not right, but you can see that how we can visualize this data with an interactive chart using Plotly. Okay, Plotly is very good for this. For example, here this is the bar chart. You can see that how many of the players out of one after we, for example, here after we remove some countries, you can see that the total goals or unique players decreased because we removed some countries. But if you remember, around 1250 unique players we have when we choose all countries. And here for in bar chart we can see that out of 1250 unique players, how many of them, how many percentage of them are defender, how many of them are goalkeeper, how many of them are forward, and how many of them are midfielder. And here, for example, we can see here we compare the teams, their goals, number of goals in bar chart. Here the average age of the each team player. For example, Brazil team is the oldest out of all teams in this World Cup, with average age of 28.19, which in real World Cup this number for some teams are way more higher. Some teams are around 36-37 years old. And the next chart is this map chart, which is very important. Here, for example, you can see that 2026 World Cup games were started in 3 countries: Canada, United States, and Mexico. And for example, here we can see that, for example, some games played in Toronto, and the number of goals. For example, you can see that how many goals in Toronto City scored, or how many matches played there. For example, how many games played in Los Angeles, how many goals scored there, or how many matches played there. On the map you can see that based on the stadiums, cities. For example, some of the games were in Los Angeles, some of them on Toronto, some of them on Seattle, some of them on Mexico City. With this we can visualize the map. And lastly, this is our original dataset. Here we can see that this is the dataset we downloaded, and also we can show the dataset in our dashboard. And also, for example, you can add dark mode and light mode button. And this is very raw dashboard. You can build anything, you can design the UI, you can add any chart you want, any feature you want. There is endless things you can do with your data set. I just want to show you how you can do that. And if for example, here I can open the source code. Here, for example, the football dashboard, you can see that, for example, first we read the data set, and for example, with this command, if some columns for example, here, for example, some columns may have a space between 2 words instead of this underscore. Imagine this is a space. With this line of code, with stripe, we can simply cut that free space, so the name should have a continuous. Okay, for example, here I can write it, you can understand it. For example, this name player name, this is not correct for a data set. Okay, we should have whether player name or player underscore name, or for example player name. But this is correct, but player name, this is not correct. So we simply with stripe all columns, we cut data space, and here we drop non-values, missing values. If you want, for example, if you have missing values in your data set, you can also, instead of dropping them, you can generate values for those missing values in dataset if you want. But for this project I want to keep it simple, so I dropped missing values. And for example, here you can see that this is, for example, city codes. Here on chart you can see that this is all the cities for games played. And you can see, for example, with this latitude and longitude, we simply add value for these circles on the map. And for example, with dash dot dash, we initialize the app, we give it the title FIFA World Cup 2026 dashboard. So for example, here FIFA World Cup 2026 dashboard, this is the title. And for example, we give it theme, light and dark mode. This one here, as you can see, we can change it to light or dark mode. I think I will stop the code. You can see that Python. Let me Python football dashboard.py. And if we refresh it, we can see that we have light and dark mode. This is the logic, the theme we write about it. For example, we can change this background into something more dark or black or dark blue. Here we can change this value for background, for cards, for text. Here, for example, this is our layout. For example, FIFA World Cup 2026 player performance dashboard, which is appear here. If you want, for example, you can change this value. For example, I change it FIFA World Cup 2026 artificial player performance. I save this file, and then we need to stop this and run it again. And here, as you can see, the artificial added here. And anything you want, you can change in this. For example, how these boxes appear, or for example, change this column. For example, change this X array value instead of theme. You can, for example, based on your data set, for example, you can use nationality. Okay, imagine instead of theme you can use nationality, or instead of goals you can for example use jersey number. Okay, it's up to you based on what you want to do. And here, for example, we have download CSV. We can also add, for example, download this chart. Okay, let me see. Here, as you can see, the plotly itself has it. You can click on it, and here, as you can see, this chart downloaded. We can open it. You can see that the image downloaded, but the downloaded image is not interactive. This is the dashboard where the data is interactive. And now here I want to talk about how you can host your dashboard, where you can share it with anyone you like. Here in this blog, I explained everything how you can host your dashboard on Render or Hugging Face or PythonAnywhere. You can go read it. I put the link in the description. and for this video I want to show you how you can run this dashboard on PythonAnywhere. Okay, so first we need to go to pythonanywhere.com, and after that first we need to create an account, then upload our files. This is PythonAnywhere. We need to create an account. Here we click on start running Python online in less than a minute. We click on it. It has a free plan for just one web app. Here, as you can see, that for the beginner you can just host one web app, and that's enough for us. Here we create a beginner account. Okay, so for example here username, I write Arash Haddad, my name, and for example my email, and some password, and again password, and we register. And now here we are in our account on PythonAnywhere. Next step is to upload our files. Here we need to click on Files tab and navigate where our files are and upload files needed. For example, the main Python file, the dataset, and here, let me find it. Here in files, we need to browse, click on browse, or also we can go to files. We wait a little. Now here we need to upload our files. One thing we should do is to add stat models in our requirement.text. Here you can add this, you can update this, and maybe I push this code to GitHub so you won't need it, but you can check it. So we should have this one too in our requirements.text. And here we upload our files. We move to this directory. First we upload this. Next we upload the main Python file, and the last one our dataset. Perfect. Now we go to Consoles tab. Here you can see that we need to install the dependencies. We go to Consoles tab and we click on Bash. It will open a terminal for us. Here we go to Console tab and we click on Bash, and a terminal page will open. And then here we can run this pip install dash plotly pandas numpy g unicorn. And also for this project we can write stats models also too. We wait a little. Here as you can see, we paste this, and also we can write stats models. Okay, stats models, and we hit enter, and we wait. Some of them had already been satisfied. Here as you can see, everything installed. And then we need to create a new web app. We click on Web tab. Now here we can click on the drop down menu and the Web tab, and then we can click on Add a new web app. And now on this page we click on this button, we click on Next. Here we choose Flask, and for example here we can choose our Python version. For example, I choose Python 3.12, and here okay, we can choose this. For example, in the article I mentioned Python 3.10, but I think it will work with 3.12 also. But I click on 3.10, and this is the path for the Python file you wish to hold your Flask app on. So this is the home, this is our username on PythonAnywhere, my site, and flask.py. Okay, here for example you can see that I write here, when asked for the path, enter home, your username, and the Python file. For example, here you can delete this and change it to football dashboard.py. We can also check it here. This is football underscore dashboard.py, and we click next. And now here I think the URL will generate. Wait a little. Now we can see this page appear. Here we got the link. This is the link to our dashboard, but when we open this, I just simply right click and open it on another tab. We see this message, hello from Flask. We need to do something. We need to fix the WSGI configuration file, because PythonAnywhere auto-generates a WSGI file that shows hello Flask by default. We need to replace it with a configuration that points to our real application. Here we need to scroll down. Here you can see that WSGI configuration file is this one. What we need to do, we need to, on the web tab, click the link to your WSGI file. Here we click on this. Here I explain it also to you. I put the screenshots, so if you want to read this blog, you can simply understand everything. And this page appear. We need to delete everything and replace this 3 line. Okay, I copy this, I come here, I delete all this, paste this, and save it. And last thing we need to do is to go to files and open our main Python file, which our logic stays there, and we need to change something very important. Here, as you can see, this is the file we had on our machine, football underscore dashboard.py. Here we need to change the path we read our dataset. When we hosting it on PythonAnywhere, we should add home / the username we created on PythonAnywhere and / dataset name. Here I explain it to you. We need to add /home / username and / the dataset. Here we need to add / before home and save this file. And after that, everything is done, and we need to just reload our URL, our application. Let me find the tab here. On the web tab, we need to click on reload, and after that when we open this link, we get error because I think we missed something very important. Let me find it here in this section. When we wanted to fix WSGI, I made a mistake, and now we can fix it. Let me find it on the web tab. Click on WSGI. Here you can see that I forget to replace the username with my real username. And the last problem is we need to change this from sales underscore dashboard to football underscore dashboard. We copy it from the website. Here I did everything for another data set, but for this video we are using football World Cup football data set, so I need to change it to football underscore dashboard. Save this and reload the application. Let me reload it and then open our URL, and I think now we can get our dashboard with this. And as you can see that when you host your application on PythonAnywhere, you get this domain .pythonanywhere.com. okay, so you can't add your own domain. If you don't have and you don't want to spend money on buying a new domain, PythonAnywhere is very good choice. It gives us a free domain, and if I open this, I expect to see our dashboard. Here we are seeing the title, so I think now our dashboard will appear. Because this is the first time, it may take a little time, but here as you can see, no error, our dashboard opened, and here we are, and this is our full dashboard hosted on PythonAnywhere. And you can simply copy this link and share it with whoever you want, and they can also use this dashboard and explore this dataset. Thank you guys. I hope you like this video. Drop a comment, tell me any question you have, anything you want from me. I make a video about it. I'm here. I read your comments, and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you. I hope you like this video. Bye for now.